Diminishing marginal utility is the concept that as a person consumes more of a good, the marginal utility gets smaller. One way to think about this is that the benefit received depends on the quantity already consumed. Imagine you're driving down the road on your way to pick up a new air conditioner that's on sale for $200. All of a sudden, a nail pierces your passenger side rear tire, and you start hearing a thumping noise. Boop, boop, boop. That's not good. You open up the trunk and no spare tire. Eventually, AAA comes and gets you to a mechanic. Now you're faced with replacing the tire. How much utility do you get from that first tire? A lot, right? What about a second tire? Not having to wait for AAA again would be nice, but not nearly as good as being able to drive again. What about the benefit of a third? Well, you could replace the two rear tires and have a good spare. It's still good, but probably not that much better. How does this relate to the concept of demand? Demand is the inverse relationship between price and the quantity consumers are willing and able to buy. As the price rises, the quantity is lower, and the price falls, the quantity is higher. Remember our good friend opportunity cost, which is the value of the next best opportunity. If every time we consume a good, the marginal utility diminishes, that means everything else that we could consume looks a little bit better in comparison. Go back to the tire example. If the first tire provides a lot of utility, then the marginal utility per dollar spent is probably very high as well. Let's say the first tire gives 3,000 units of utility and costs $150. That means the marginal utility per dollar spent is 20. The additional benefit of having a spare tire is worth 300 units of utility, or 2 per dollar spent. You're on your way to get a new, cool air conditioner, and that would provide, say, 500 units of utility, or 2.5 per dollar spent. Do you get the tire, or do you get the air conditioner? The tire is clearly better. Now, you could get a second tire to have a spare, or get the air conditioner. The air conditioner is the better use of your money. At a price of $150, you want one tire. However, what if the tire shop ran a special? Buy one, get one half off. That means the price for the second tire is now only $75. So the marginal utility per dollar spent is 4. Now the second tire is more beneficial than the air conditioner on a per dollar basis. Notice what happened here. Because the additional benefit of another tire was smaller, the consumer needed a lower price in order to be convinced that the second tire was the best use of the scarce funds. As the price falls, the marginal utility divided by price rises, making the product look more attractive than it did before. In this particular case, the consumer needs at least 2.5 units of marginal utility per dollar spent for the second tire in order to compete with the air conditioner. We could have charged up to $120 for the second tire, and it still would have been the better choice. I also held the next best thing constant in this example. We started off on our way to get the air conditioner. Presumably, that would be our next best purchase, since it was our best use before the flat. If the tires did not exhibit diminishing marginal utility, then the second tire would also provide 3,000 units of utility, as would the third, the fourth, the 10th, the 100th. The air conditioner would never be the best choice, and the consumer would just buy tires until the budget ran out. There would still be a point where the consumer could no longer afford more tires, and at a higher price, that quantity would be lower.